Konnichiwa, and welcome back to Divine Japan, the channel that dives deep into the epic, rich tapestry of Japanese history. I am your guide, and together we're going to explore the heart of Japan's oldest chronicle, the Kojiki, and the unforgettable tales it has to tell. If you're new here, consider subscribing to join us on this amazing journey. Before we delve in, let's shed some light on the Kojiki. Known in English as the Record of Ancient Matters, the Kojiki is the oldest surviving chronicle in Japan, dating back to the early 8th century. It's a treasury of myths, legends, and historical accounts, chronicling the creation of the world, the birth of the gods, and the origins of the Japanese imperial line. The Kojiki is not just a record of events, but a profound narrative that has helped to shape Japanese culture and identity throughout the centuries. And now, let us embark on our journey into the first chapter of the final volume of this incredible narrative. Brace yourself for a tale of power, intrigue, and the divine origins of an enduring legacy in an episode we've titled Great Japan, the Power and Influence of the Emperor. Stay tuned, because this tale is one you won't want to miss. Let's step back in time to a Japan of legend and mystery, an era when gods walked the earth and the line between the divine and the mortal was blurred. Our tale begins with the celestial descent of Ninigi no Mikoto, the grandson of the sun goddess Amaterasu, entrusted with the divine mirror, sword, and jewel. Ninigi no Mikoto was sent down from the heavens to rule over the earthly realm. This divine descent is known as Tensen Kren, marking the beginning of the unbroken line of Japanese emperors. However, it wasn't a smooth transition. Ninigi no Mikoto's divine status was challenged by earthly deities, and he found himself entangled in a multitude of intrigues. The human world was a far cry from the serenity of the heavens, and the young deity found himself at the center of power struggles, intrigues, and wars. Despite the trials and tribulations, Ninigi no Mikoto persevered. He established a rule of justice and order, firmly planting the roots of what would become the mighty Japanese imperial line. This is a pivotal moment in the Kojiki, as it connects the divine narrative of the heavens with the historical narrative of earthly rulers. This divine origin bestows upon the emperor an aura of sacredness and legitimacy that is deeply ingrained in Japanese culture to this day. The power and influence of the emperor. We pick up the narrative with Ninigi no Mikoto's descendants, the progenitors of the illustrious Yamato line, a lineage that would come to shape the land of the rising sun. The most prominent of these descendants was Emperor Jimmu, the legendary first emperor of Japan. Tracing his lineage directly back to the sun goddess, Jimmu's ascension marked a new chapter in the annals of Japanese history. According to the Kojiki, his reign started in 660 BE, a time frame that is deeply symbolic, as it aligns with the beginning of the Chinese calendar. Emperor Jimmu's rule was characterized by a series of conquests, unifying disparate tribes and establishing the foundations of the Japanese state. He made Yamato, present-day Nara Prefecture, the seat of his power, thus establishing a center that would remain crucial throughout the coming centuries. From the Kojiki, we glean that the early Japanese emperors were not just passive, divine figureheads. They were active participants in politics, war, and culture, shaping the Japanese islands into a unified state. The Kojiki's account of Emperor Jimmu and his lineage sheds light on the beginnings of a centralized Japanese state. and the socio-political transformations that would come to define Japan. As we draw this chapter to a close, we are left with a sense of awe and respect for the resilience and determination of these early rulers. Their divine origins, as chronicled in the Kojiki, bestowed upon them a sacred status that would reverberate through the ages, shaping the unique fabric of Japan's history and culture. And yet, this is just the beginning of our journey into the Kojiki's tales of great Japan, the power and influence of the emperor. And so, we have reached the end of the first chapter of the final volume of the Kojiki, Great Japan, the power and influence of the emperor. Through the epic tales of divine descent, the struggles of Ninja Mikoto, and the rise of Emperor Jimmu, we have delved into the foundations of the Japanese imperial line and its profound influence on the history and culture of Japan. But remember, this is just one piece of the vast, rich tapestry. That is the Kojiki. There are countless more tales to discover, legends to explore, and lessons to learn. Each chapter builds upon the last, weaving together a narrative that has stood the test of time, providing us with a unique window into the soul of Japan. So if you found today's journey enlightening and are eager to delve deeper into the mysteries of the Kojiki, make sure to subscribe and join us for the next chapter. Until then, sayonara and thanks for joining us on this journey through the annals of divine Japan. Remember, every ending is merely a new beginning, and the tale of great Japan, the power and influence of the emperor, is far from over. Thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, this is your guide through the divine and ancient lands of Japan, singing off. Met ni.